Welcome to my channel, Golden Story Time. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, wrapped in silence, a woman named Claire lived with secrets too heavy for one heart. She smiled for the world, but behind her smile was a storm she prayed no one would ever see. What she didn't know was that the storm was already watching her. Claire worked at a small bookstore on the corner of Maple Street. People loved her kindness, her soft laughter, and the way she remembered every customer's favorite author. But when the doors closed and the town went dark, Claire's mind was haunted by memories she could never bury. 17 years ago, something had happened to her family, something so terrifying that she never spoke of it again. She lived alone now, in a two-story house her late parents left her. At night, the old walls creaked, as if they still remembered voices that had long gone silent. Claire tried to ignore it, tried to pretend the noises were just wood settling. But every time the house sighed, it felt like the past reaching out, reminding her that secrets don't die. One evening, as the sun melted into the horizon, Claire locked the bookstore and walked home. The autumn air carried a chill, and the streets were nearly empty. She wrapped her coat tighter, her footsteps quickening against the cracked sidewalks. For reasons she couldn't explain, she felt watched, like shadows leaned closer as she passed, whispering things she couldn't quite hear. When she reached her porch, she noticed something strange. An envelope lay on the step, sealed with dark red wax. There was no name, no address, no return mark, just a single letter. See. Her chest tightened. No one called her C except her father, and he had been dead for years. Hands trembling, she brought the letter inside. She sat at her kitchen table under the flickering light bulb and broke the seal. Inside was a single sheet of paper, handwritten in ink that looked uneven, rushed. I know what you saw that night, and I know what you did. Her breath caught. The paper slipped from her hands. She pushed back her chair, heart hammering in her chest so violently she thought she might faint. Nobody knew about that night, nobody. She had buried it deep, never spoken a word, not even to herself. She read the note again, her fingers shaking. The words blurred as tears welled in her eyes. 17 years of silence, broken by a stranger who seemed to know everything. And just as Claire thought her past was buried, it clawed its way back into her life. But who sent the letter? What did they want from her? Stay with me, because the night had only just begun. Claire folded the note, stuffed it back in the envelope, and set it aside, though her eyes kept drifting to it as if it had a pulse. She made tea, though her hands trembled so badly the cup nearly slipped from her grasp. The taste was bitter, metallic, as though fear itself had seeped into the water. That night, she couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned, staring at the ceiling where moonlight carved shifting shapes. Just as she began to drift into uneasy slumber, a sound echoed through the house. A slow creak, then another. Her breath froze. The sound was in the house, settling. It was footsteps. Claire sat upright, heart pounding against her ribs. She grabbed the lamp from her nightstand, clutching it like a weapon. The footsteps stopped outside her bedroom door. Silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then 3 knocks, soft, deliberate, and terrifying. She couldn't move, couldn't speak. She waited, holding her breath, praying she was dreaming. The knocks came again, louder this time. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice cracking. No answer. Gathering courage she didn't feel, Claire lunged toward the door and flung it open. The hallway was empty. The only sound was the faint hum of the refrigerator downstairs. Her skin prickled, her instincts screaming. She knew what she felt wasn't a dream, it was real. Someone had been standing there. The next morning, she told herself it had to be her imagination, lack of sleep, anxiety. But when she walked downstairs, she froze. The envelope was gone. In its place was another one. Same wax seal, same handwriting. Her stomach dropped as she tore it open. "You can't run from the truth, Claire. I'm coming for you." Once upon a time, in a quiet little town wrapped in silence, there lived a woman named Claire. She was known for her radiant smile and kindness. Claire owned a quaint little bookstore where the aroma of old books mingled with the scent of fresh coffee, creating a comforting atmosphere that welcomed everyone. However, beneath Claire's warm and friendly exterior lay a dark secret from 17 years ago. A secret so haunting that it had driven a wedge between her and her reflection. A secret she thought she had buried, but was clearly not at rest. One day, as Claire was arranging some new books on her shelf, a large envelope arrived. It was made of wax canvas and sealed with a thick layer of wax. The letter had no address, only the letter C, in elegant cursive. Curiosity and a sense of dread washed over Claire as she realized the letter was addressed to her. With trembling hands, she broke the seal and unfolded the letter. The wax on the envelope had spelled out her name, Claire. Inside, the letter read, "I know what you did that night, Claire. I know all of your secrets." The words burned into Claire's retinas. How could someone know what she'd done all those years ago? Had her secret, the one she'd held close for so long, finally been discovered? As she read through the letter, fear tightened its icy grip around her heart. The author claimed to have watched her every move that fateful night, and threatened to expose her unless she paid him a hefty sum of money. Claire's mind raced. Who was this person? How much money did they want? And how could she possibly get her hands on such a large sum in such a short period of time? Before she could come up with a plan, the letter ended abruptly. To make matters worse, Claire noticed that the author had written in red ink. As the night fell, Claire found herself alone in her silent house, her mind replaying that night over and over again. Suddenly, she heard footsteps outside her bedroom window. Her heart pounded against her ribs like a trapped bird. Then came a knock, just a single knock on her door. Claire froze. No one was supposed to be there. She called out, "Who's there?" But the only response was silence. In the morning, Claire got up to find the envelope and the letter were gone. In their place was another letter, identical to the first, except this one read, "You can't run from the truth, Claire. I'm coming for you." Now, as the days passed, Claire grew more fearful by the hour. Each day, when she awoke, she would find a new letter waiting for her, each one more menacing than the last. The letters were like daggers piercing the illusion of her peaceful life, reminding her that her past was catching up to her. And so the story continues, leaving us to wonder, who is this mysterious letter writer, and what did Claire do all those years ago? Will he expose her, or will she be able to protect her identity? We may never know unless we dare to venture into the realm of imagination and let our curiosity guide us. After all, isn't that what stories are for? To transport us to different worlds and make us feel a myriad of emotions without any risk to ourselves? So let's keep reading and see where this tale takes us next. So please like, share, subscribe, and comments below. Thanks for watching.